Oh, hi there, Andrew Bell with you. And this is now sort of a daily experience to see this great weather and feel like it's spring already. Now, the national focus at present has been on the outbreak of the COVID Delta variant. We can see the incredible impacts and are getting a real understanding, particularly in New South Wales, of how quickly one case of Delta variant can escalate so rapidly. The Delta strain is now turning up in other states, which I guess does show why our state premiers are so definite in closing borders to try and prevent the outbreak in their state. We're certainly blessed here at present in Queensland, where on most days we record 0 new cases, or where any cases are identified, they're already in quarantine. Everyone's anxious to understand how all of this is going to affect their livelihoods. We're seeing compounding effects with much of Sydney now in its 8th week of lockdown, and we're forecast that there's probably another 8 weeks or more still to go. Melbourne in its 6th lockdown. These are our two main states, and where, for example, Western Sydney accounts for around 38% of the national economy. People who derive their income from the health of the economy, which is most of us, are certainly worried. I see that NAB has already suggested that we've dipped into another recession. It's of no surprise that I'm getting inundated with inquiries about what's likely to happen in the real estate market, and I guess my answer is two-part. For the present, it's stimulated a new avalanche of people from all parts of New South Wales and Victoria who want to migrate to Queensland, either for a sense of greater health safety or because they've lost their jobs or have had to close their businesses down and just want to start a new life. And some because of a perception that Queensland, by and large, is managing this COVID situation pretty well, and that is largely because we're not nearly as densely populated as the largest cities. However, most definitely, our more affordable real estate plays a major role. Every time there's a lockdown, there's a stimulus and a spike in buying activity out of those lockdown areas. Our auction last week is just one example. It set a new national state and certainly definitely a local record. 26 properties were submitted with a 100% success rate. One auction went for 45 minutes with 144 bids and sold 700,000 over reserve. Sale after sale, flying past the reserve prices and setting new benchmark prices in either the streets that they were in or the buildings that they were in, whether it was residential or commercial. This is on the top of the previous month's 84 auctions that saw 93% of those properties sold, including one residential property that sold for double the reserve price. Some 60+ million in sales, and beyond question, significantly stimulated by the lockdowns. Whilst buyers came through real estate portals and significant inquiry came off the Gold Coast Bulletin, so much of the inquiry came out of our existing database of clients who've registered with us in recent months and weeks, and people from all over Australia, knowing that Ray White's the largest group on the coast, and they've reached out their local office asking for referrals to us to help them find properties. It's unprecedented. We are very well versed now operating in COVID restrictions. We have our videos for every property, and we market and we do FaceTime inspections with interested parties in the state. We help people with finance through the loan market, which is the country's largest financier and owned by Ray White. And we leverage our Ray White network, the largest in the country. It's Ray White's scale that provides us with incredible and unique tools that help us not only in the good times, but most definitely in the challenging times. In the week that South East Queensland surprisingly was put into sudden and unexpected lockdown, we wrote 55 sales for that week. Who would have imagined? This is again a sign of how COVID impacts the real estate market. So the answer to the question, how is the Delta outbreak affecting the real estate market? The answer, first of all, is here on the Gold Coast. For the present, is proving to be a huge stimulant to the marketplace at the very time that we have our lowest level of stock in the marketplace. It's not hard to understand why we're getting the prices we are. Looking forward, we expect those conditions to continue through September and perhaps October and November. It's the spring season, when so many buyers come out of winter hibernation and want to secure their new homes to be in by Christmas, or for those buying their holiday properties to get their Gold Coast holiday property for the summertime use. Looking forward, that's the second part. The market's heavily dependent on what happens with this long-term damage that's coming out of the economy at present. It's likely to be the most damaging that we've seen to date, and it's too early to measure how that might affect, but it's likely to have a detrimental effect. Every market has a beginning and an end. There is certainly a rising concern that there are reasons to believe that what we're experiencing at present may well be the peak and that there are issues to deal with moving forward. Who knows? You simply can't get better than 100% success rate at auction. What I'm actually saying is to the large number of people who have indicated that they would sell but have been putting that process off, there's a saying, make hay while the sun shines, and it certainly rings home true at present. One strong learning during my career in the industry that it's always been better to sell 3 months too soon than 1 day too late. We've had an amazing run in real estate with huge growth in values, and for the wise, it's time to capitalise on those gains. We have some very special programs running through the balance of this year to ensure that all of our clients capture the very best of this market. If you'd like more information, please do not hesitate to contact us via the details on screen now, and we'll certainly address any particular questions or issues that you might have. I also have interviewed Nerida Cormsby, the most interviewed economist in Australia on real estate, and have her insights into the market in general at present, and a separate interview addressing the prestige market in particular. So if you'd like a copy of that interview, please reach out via the details on screen again, and we'll get that to you. Spring is out on our doorstep and we are ready for what it brings, wishing you all the very best wherever you may be.